We're going to talk about smudging. So smudging is simply the art of clearing space or blessing items or objects or individuals or purifying. And these are practices used in various different indigenous and spiritual practices. So if you are familiar with Catholicism, which most of my following is, they use incense in the church as a way to smudge during a lot of ceremonies. If you are of Mexican descent, you probably know of the limpias or clearings where you use smudging like burning sage to clear your auric field. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. The first thing about smudging is that it does not belong to any one people. So don't listen to all of the you can't do this or this takes on this culture or the woke nonsense about what you can and cannot do. There's no gatekeeping on any of these practices. I think that some people have some gatekeeping concerns about where you source your materials from, but ethical sourcing is just a given when I'm talking. So take it that way. Obviously don't take from somebody who doesn't have to give or something that's endangered. So do your homework there. But directional smudging. So the first thing that shaman know is that when we're smudging, if you go counterclockwise or down towards your right foot, that pulls the energy out of you, or if it's an item too. So you're going counterclockwise down towards the right. So that is going to, so on me, it's this way. Down towards my right foot is the way I remember. Counterclockwise, that pulls all the energy. So if you're pulling energy out of an item or out of a person, that's what we're going to do it. So even if it was me, it's down towards right foot, but counterclockwise, if I'm pulling it out of my coffee and giving any energy, we're doing it that way. Same thing with when you go clockwise or down towards your left foot. You are typically bringing in a positive energy or a blessing, okay? Materials. Palo Santo is one of the go-tos. I like it a lot because it invites in blessings, but it also clears dense or heavy energy. And when you light it, it doesn't stay lit for very long. So even that one wouldn't even lit right away. So if you're going to do a whole house or something, you're going to want to walk around with a candle or a lighter with you because it just doesn't stay very long, but it's a very woody smelling smudge that a lot of people enjoy. It's usually used in conjunction with sage. So white sage seems to be the most popular. There's two ways to get it. You can get it in bundles or loose, and the bundles are great for smudging a person. So again, when you're going with the directionality down towards your right foot, anything like Palo Santo or sage, when it's in a bundle and you've lit it on an end, makes it a little easier. The reason I don't like this kind is because sometimes I don't want to burn a whole stick, and sometimes it burns fast, although I would argue you usually need it when that happens. Always have a safe dish. A lot of people, you can buy those shells. This happens to be a piece of pottery that I made in high school that just works perfect for my smudge bowl, but always have something safe that you can put it. If you're using a shell, be careful, it will burn through if you don't have it on the stand. I think it happened in that windowsill at one point. And then the loose sage, this is from the Black Hills in South Dakota. It's nice if you just want a little piece, if you just want to burn a little, if you're doing firestorm or something, and you just need a little sage in your life, that's when I like to use a loose leaf. You can also use, and sage, so sage just clears energy out. It doesn't bring any blessings in. When you want to bring blessings in, that's when sweetgrass is my favorite. Now, usually you can buy the sweetgrass braided. My dog chewed my recent sweetgrass and pulled it apart, so I just have it in these loose pieces right now in a bowl. But it only burns for a small, short amount of time, but it really smells so good. It's my favorite. You also want to check on your locale. So sweetgrass is great if you live in the United States, especially the Great Plains, because it's something the land spirits here like. But in Peru, the land spirits don't really like it. And they think it smells nice, same as sage, but it doesn't really connect. Their land spirits don't really know of it because it's not local to there, versus they really like copal or Palo Santo. So if you in meditation connect with the spirit of your land and find out what it prefers, that's a great way to know too. This is some cedar that I took, I think it's cedar, when I was in Arizona, in Sedona. And so again, this burns really quick. You can find your own and let it dry out, and then again, right to release any heavy energy. So cedar is used for cleansing properties and its connection to water energies too. It's a really good one. Copal that I mentioned earlier comes in little chunks of resin. It's great for purification, space clearing, and any respiratory benefits. When you use that, you buy these charcoal discs and put them in a heat safe dish like a shell on a stand and get that burning first, and then you put the resin or the copal right on top of it. Same if you have the chunks of frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense is great used in meditation and spiritual rituals. It's often the anesthetic properties in it and their ability to connect the practitioner to the higher spiritual realms. Another one that I use a lot is Florida water. So Florida water in the Peruvian tradition, it also clears. It's a spiritual cologne used for purification and protection. So it smudges to help seal a space with positive vibrations too. So when I do a shamanic healing, when I was taught in the medicine wheel in Peru, they use it to spray with their breath. Now, when I worked in a spa in the States, I put it in a spray bottle. So you're just using it to smudge, to clear the energy and bring in positive intentions. But in Peru, you're supposed to use your breath. So you put a little, and I'm not the best at this, you put a little in your mouth, and then you spray it with your breath. Now, I was drilled. I think it's the lip injections, honestly. But you want to get the yellow kind that's in my Amazon links. You never want to get the green kind and put it in your mouth because that's more of a different smell and it's just a cologne. It's like not, I don't know. That's the way I was taught, so that's the way I teach it. All right. The other thing is rattling or drumming. Couldn't find my rattle. So rattling also releases heavy energy. So in Peru, when we do Peruvian traditions, so we do shamanic healing, we're opening chakras by rattling in a counterclockwise moment to the right to open them, and then we're spraying Florida water to bring in blessings into those open chakras. And then when they're done, we're closing them out. And sometimes, if you're wanting to seal in blessings, that's when you're also closing it in with the Palo Santo. Okay. So different items that you burn are used for different things. This one is cedar and pine because it was just literally the leftovers of my Christmas tree last year. So I like to keep some of that every year and make my own smudge bundles with them. And I think that one has some white sage in it too. So you can make your own, you can use your own. Drum baths are also a great way to really loosen up energy within people. Breath and so it's the combination of using these and then our breath and intention. Okay. The other thing I'll mention is that a whole house clearing is a great thing to do. My teacher said once a year, but I do it like once a week. I go through my whole house. I start and I go right to left. So I go like I'm going around counterclockwise around my whole home, and every time I'm doing it, I'm going counterclockwise with my smudge, and I'm calling on my spirit team. And Jesus is one of the guides I work with a lot, and I call on Jesus to help clear any heavy energy out of this house and release it to the light. I call on Archangel Michael to release any heavy energy in this house and release it to the light. The one thing that smudge cannot do, it cannot get rid of attachments, intrusions, black magic, or spirits in your house that you don't like. Okay, so I know there's been a lot of movies on this topic and stuff, and it's really funny because even people that do exorcisms, you've seen it in movies and you see people smudging to try to get rid of things. But there's a really good movie. It was a comedy called Just Like Heaven with Reese Witherspoon and Mark Ruffalo from 2005, where they're doing that, where they're like smudging and doing all these things to get rid of her because she's a lost soul that's inhabiting an apartment. Smudge alone won't do that. Okay, you need bigger tools for that. It does not release entities or attachments or cords. All it does is move energy, either releasing heavy energy or bringing in blessed energy. I love you.